Okay. So we finished with color chooser. I'll have a new Java project called, let's say, student. Okay, I'll just do a small student project. I'll have things in my source. I'll finish. Okay. Now look here. I am going to first design a login screen. Design a login screen, which means, that is going to be my home screen. So, I will not go for frame. I'll go for application window. Application window, because, that is going to be my home screen. I'll take next. So that is going to be my login screen. So I'll type login and finish. Okay. So that is my login code by default. Now let's come to the design. So I'll just have a very simple design. I'll have a user, I'll put absolute layout. Okay. Now I'll have, just minimize my console. Okay. I'll have a label. I'll have a text field. Okay. I'll have a label. I'll have two labels, in fact, username and password. I need a username and a password. I'll need two text fields. One is to enter the username and one is to enter the password. I will need a button for login. Where is the J button? Yeah, I need a button for, okay, I'll have two buttons. I'll have one for logging in, and then I'll even have another button for, let's say, exit or something. I'll just rename these. New label, text, I'll give enter username, enter name. Here I'll give enter password, password or whatever, password. Enter password. Okay, I'll just make this a bit bigger. Enter username, and this will be enter password. Okay, that will be empty, but I'll just rename the variable so that future I'll be able to understand what it is. So that is name text, isn't it? So I'll just give text name, and this is text password. Okay, so I'll give this text PWD so that I can remember it correctly. This will be my login button. I'll just rename it. It's not new button. This is my login button. I will, okay. I'll even change the variable name, button login. Okay. This is my logout button, or I'll make it exit button. This is going to be my exit button. I'll even change the variable name, button exit. Okay, so that's it. I'll finish off my exit code first because that is the easiest code. I'll just double click. So in exit, it's nothing. I have a frame. Let me see what is the name of my frame. Frame itself. It is frame itself. Frame is equal to new J frame. So in my exit, all what I've got to do is frame dot dispose it. Frame dot, yeah, dispose. I'm done with that code. Now what I'll have to do is I'll have to give in code for my login. So I'm going to write code over here for my login, button login code. Now I'll just open up my SQL plus. I've got a table over here, FTU underscore details, which I've done a desk of the table, student ID, name, age, city, gender. Okay, I don't have password over here. So let's imagine, this is my ID and this is my name. We'll do one thing. We'll enter ID name instead of username password. I'll change my text in the form later. So I have a few fields over inside, also inside. Select star from FTU details. Okay, so I've got a few fields over here, SID and FName. So we'll work with this table. Okay, instead of username, password, we'll have to enter ID and name. I'll just go back over here and do a few small changes. Okay, not enter name, enter ID, and here it is enter name. Okay, sorry, yeah, enter name, correct. Here it is not text name, it is text ID, and here it is not text password, instead text name. Okay, so all that has been done, not username, password. I am going to log in with my ID and name. Now let me start writing my code over here, which means, very simple. You will have to first thing do connect it to your database. So class dot for name. Okay, hope you remember all this. You were using the, I'll just copy the code from somewhere. Okay, Oracle dot jdbc dot driver dot Oracle driver, if I'm not wrong. Oracle driver. Okay, yeah, class for name. Okay, try catch. I'll put a try. I'll put a catch. Catch exception E. System dot out dot println E. Okay, so that's done. Class dot for name. Now I'll have to prepare my connection. Connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. Hope you remember all this. Connection C is capital. Connection con driver manager dot get connection. You'll have to give your whole path. I'll just copy this from somewhere. Okay. So yeah, everything is there. Username and password is there. Connection. What is the problem with connection? Spellings are correct, right? Connection con. Okay, we'll correct it later.
Import.
What import? Import Java. Okay. Import Java dot SQL. Yeah, it's okay now. Connection. Yeah, rectified. Okay, so I've created a connection. Now I'll have to check whether my username password is correct. Prepared statement. I'll use parameterized queries. Last time we didn't do parameterized queries. This will come out well correctly if you use parameterized queries rather than the usual thing. So prepared statement PST is equal to con dot prepare statement. I'll write my query. Select star from stu underscore details where, okay, I'll just take my s underscore id, s underscore name, okay, where s underscore id is equal to a question mark, and both should be same. I mean, both should match, both your sid and your s name. S underscore name is equal to question mark. Okay, so I'm using parameterized query. The first question mark is my SID and the second question mark is my S name. Now let's set PST. Before that, let's take the data types of both. Both are varchar. Because both are varchar, it is set string. So PST dot set string. Okay, set string, uh, the first argument. Okay, the first argument will be, I'll just comment this and take my design. So this is my first argument and this is my second argument. The content in my text field, text ID. Okay, text ID, the content in my text ID, I will get it with my get text. So text ID dot get text is my first argument. Text name dot get text is my second argument. So let's come back to the code. Where were we? We were here. Okay. So my first argument is nothing but text ID, right? Text ID dot get text. And my second argument is nothing but set string. My second argument is txt nm dot get text. Okay, so I've got both values from my form. Text ID dot get text and text name is equal to get text. Now you should check whether you have such an entry. Okay, imagine you entered R101 days. Okay, the values have been got. Now you have to check whether you have such a result set or not, whether that particular thing called 101 days, whether it exists over here or not. Okay, so let's write code for that. I'll go back to my source. Okay, I've got both the values. Very simple. I'll create a result set to run the query. Result set rs is equal to pft dot execute query. Okay, I'm executing the query. I'm executing which query? Select star from stu details. I've executed the query. Now, if I have an entry R101, if I have an entry R101, I will have a result set. Okay. If I do not have an entry R101, I will not have a result set. Okay. So I'll just very simply write if rs dot next. I'll go one by one. Hope my brackets are correct. If rs dot next. Okay. If rs dot next, do something else, do something else. If rs dot next, which means if there is such a result set, user exist. If rs dot next is not there, I can say user does not exist. Okay, so let's go very simple. Where is my try catch? Okay, I'll have an SOP. SOP both sides, if and else. If the user exists, I will say user exist. Okay. If rs is not there, I will say user is invalid. Yeah, that's it, the code. I'll just close everything. rs close, even my pft close. Okay. So I've closed everything. I'll save my program. I'll run my program. So I'll enter a username password R101 or whatever. Anyway, that is not there. Days. I'll click a login. Okay. I did not give anything. I'll just go and see my console. Okay. I'll just open my console. Okay, I have a problem in my JDBC. Just a minute. Let's see once again. I'll give R111 Alshin login. User is invalid. So let's go for a valid user. R100 Rahul. R should be in caps. Okay. We'll even check the exit button. Exit button. It perfectly works. We'll run the program once again. R100. R100 Rahul. Okay. User exist. User exist. Okay. So anyway, this will not do. We'll just do a bit more things in your console. It should, I mean, it can come, but we'll just learn a few more things. We learn J option pane together with this. J option pane. J option pane is nothing but your pop-ups coming out. Okay. You have lots of kind of J option panes. Show confirm dialog. You can work on each of that. Show confirm dialog, show input dialog. Like, if you want to get in some data, you can have input dialog and all that. If you just simply want to show a message, you have something like show message dialog. Okay, as usual, the first argument will be null. And here you can have user successfully logged in. Okay.
Mute.
Okay. User successfully logged in. User invalid. User invalid. I'll just save my program. Together with this, okay, that'll do. So R100, that was Rahul. R100, Rahul, login. Okay. So I will get a J option pane. We'll even go for a, let's say R101. Let's say I'll go for Kiran, login. I'll get user invalid. Okay. So we're done with the login. We'll continue with our student project. Now, what I'll do is I'll create one more form, a panel, other. I'm not going for application window now. Instead, I'm going for a normal J frame. Let's say student details. Okay. Now I do have my student details. The code is automatically generated. I'll open up my design. Okay. I've made things bigger. Okay, that will do. Now we will learn about something called JTable. Okay. Table. Simple table where you have rows and you have columns. So you do have a JTable over here. JTable. Okay. Click JTable, enable it. Before that, put an absolute layout. Take your JTable. Now, when you put your JTable, be a bit careful. Okay. You take it over here and then, drag your mouse like this so that, you get a table defined. Okay. So these are my entries in the table. I just made a small table. Okay. Together with that, we'll even learn something called J scroll pane. J scroll pane. Hope you remember, or hope you know what is a scroll pane. I'll show you what is a scroll pane. Oh, very simple. This is the scroll pane. Look here. You know, where I'm able to scroll up and down, you call it a scroll pane. See, this is what you call a scroll pane. So let's come back. Now, you know, I might have lots of data in my table, but, you know, I just made it very small. So what you can do is you can right click your table and surround it with the scroll pane. Okay, so now my table is surrounded with a scroll pane. When you look into your code, you will find that. Okay, you have a table, you have a scroll pane, and your table is surrounded with a scroll pane. Okay, so let's come back to our design. Just a minute, before you do your scroll pane, okay, I've Control Z, scroll pane would go away. So anyway, that was how you surround your table with a scroll pane. Now, we are going to do something with this particular table, stu underscore details. So, you know, I want all these names to come over here, SID, SNAME, age, city, and all that. For that, what you can do is you have something called a model, table model, very, very important, table model. Double click on these 3 dots over there, and you can insert columns. Okay, so I'll have 1 2 3 4 5 columns. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and now I'll give name for my columns. So first one is ID, the second one is just a minute, insert, delete. Okay, the second one is move right, move left. Okay, you can do all that. Just insert a row, it will be easier. Okay, ID, name, what was my third field? Age, city, gender. Age, city, insert a row and then rename your columns. That will be easier. And this was gender. Okay, so once you have given names for your columns, please delete away the row. Okay, so I've got things over there. I'll surround it now with a scroll pane, J scroll pane. Okay, so now things are there. Okay, it's a bit bigger. Okay, so that's it. I'll just save it. And I'll even have a show button. Take a button and then put it over here. I'll rename it show details. Show details. Okay, I'll even rename button show. Okay, so that's it. Now, what I'm planning to do is when I click the show button, the details in my table should come up over here. So I'll go to the add action listener of my show. Okay, look here. All the fields, the table model has been created. You write very little code. Okay, now I'm going to list out details in my table. List out details from my database table into my J table. Okay, now very simple. I need all the details to come over here. So which means when I'll have to work with my database stuff, I'll just copy things from here. Class. Okay, so I'll just import my SQL. Import java.sql.star. Yeah, so that's done. Okay, try catch. I'll take the same thing from there. Try catch. Okay, so all that is done. I put it in a try catch. I have my connection. Now very simple, select star from. Okay, I'll create a statement. Statement ft is equal to select star from. Okay, I'll just create statement. I've created a statement. Okay, I'll even create a result set. Result set rs is equal to ft dot execute. What happened? ft dot, okay. ft dot execute query. Query. What is my query? My query is going to be very simple. Select what? I'll go in detail. SID, comma, S underscore name, comma, SID, S name, age, gender, city. Age, comma, city, comma, gender. Select star will perfect. Name, age, I'll do one thing. I'll select star. The field name should be the same, no? Star from FTU underscore. When you don't know the fields, the easiest thing is put star. Okay, so result set rs equal to, I'm going to have everything into my table. I'm going to have everything into my table. So let's see what is the table they have created. They've created a table called TABLE, table dot. Okay, now you have to set something called a model. Set model for your table. Very simple. Things inside your result set, you should convert it into a table. Things inside the result set are nothing but all these data. Okay, this is inside your result set. You need to convert it into your table. Okay, so what I do is I will be using a DB utils. Okay, just a minute. Before that, let me see if I need to even import. Just a minute. I haven't imported all that. Configure build path, add external jar, rs2 XML. I did not do all that. Open, because this is my new Eclipse. I did not install all that. Okay, rs2 XML. See this particular thing, DB utils. Okay, conversion from a result set to a table is done by this particular package, DB utils. Okay, so DB utils dot convert the result set to your table model, rs. That's it. Okay, so by default, when you check over here, you will have imported something called net dot this thing, what you see on the left, net dot protein it dot sql dot db utils. It will come automatically. So you need this if you want your table to work, because you're always converting your result set into a table model. So what I've done is I've done a select query. All what I'm doing is I'm converting my result set into my table format. I'll save my program. Okay, click show details, all the details will come. This is my scroll pane. My table was too small. I'll do one thing. I'll just make it a bit more bigger. Okay, ID, name, age, city, gender, and this is my scroll pane. My scroll pane is also working perfectly. My J table is also working perfectly. We'll continue. I'll go to my design. I'll just double click this. Now, let's see a project point of view. Add, delete, add, edit, delete student details and all that. So what I'll do is I'll quickly create a few labels. Label, one label, two label, one text field, two text field. Okay, I'm planning to add details of students. Five sets I need. Okay, so first one is ID. ID. Label ID. I'll just rename everything quickly. This one is name. LBL name. This one is age. Okay, label, let it be there. This one is what? City. City. This one is gender. Okay, this one is text of ID. This one is text of name. This one is text of age. This one is text of city. You'll have to remember all these names because these are variables which you will be using in your program. This is text of gender. I'll even have a quick button, J button. I'll name it add. Okay, so what I'm planning to do is I'll just run this and show you. I'll enter ID. I'll give a name. I'll enter age. I'll enter city. I'll enter gender. I click and add. The details should go into the table. So this is what I'm planning to do. We'll do one thing. Gender, let's not have a text box because usually what all genders can happen. We'll go for a combo box. So together with that, we'll even learn what is a combo box. I'll put in a combo box over here. I'll just elongate it a bit. I'll give the name comb gender. Okay. Now, see, you need text inside this combo box. For that, you have a property called model, MODEL, table model, combo box model, etc. Click over here. Okay. You can give what all items you want. Like, I'll give male, female, TG. So these are the usual genders we have. It could either be a male, a female, or a TG. I'll click on OK. I'll save. I'll run. Okay. So you'll get these male, female, TG. So, and the others you can be entering. This you need not enter. You can select it from your combo box. So now I'll take the action listener of my ad. I'll double click it. Okay. Now I've gone into the action listener of ad. Now I'm going to add my code over here. Okay. So for the time being, what I'll do is I'll just copy this. You can write a separate class for that. For the time being, I'll just copy it. Try catch. Okay. So I do have my Oracle driver. I even have a connection. I've even created a statement. It is not select star. I need to insert. I need to insert things into my table. So before you insert, the first thing you want to do is, look here. Sorry, not this form. Okay. You will have data over here. ID. You will have a name over here called Brinta. You will have an age over here called 21. You will even have a city. And then you might have selected something from your combo box. So first thing what you have to do is you have to get details from your text boxes and combo boxes using get text. And that should be entered into your table. So step one, get text from everything. So I'll have a string SID is equal to, you'll have to remember all those, I think it was text ID dot, yeah, get text. Okay, I've got that. Then string S name is equal to txt nm. Yeah, that is also correct. Get text. Then what did we have? Age, isn't it? String student age is equal to text age. Yeah, that was also correct. You have to remember all your variable names. Then we had a string. What was it? Gender, right? No, before gender, we had something else. What was that?
City.
City. Okay. String, let's say F city. F city string F city is equal to text city dot, no, I went wrong. Text city dot, okay, yeah, city dot get text. Okay, so I've got all the variables. Now, the very important thing, I need to get thing from my combo box. Now look here. I need to get thing from my combo box. This is my first index, my second index, my third index. Very simple. Get the index and then get the text at the index. Get the index and then get the text at the index. So that will also be a string. Let's say string gender. String gender is equal to txt, not txt, it was cmb, right? cmb gender, something like this. No, not that. I'll just go back there and see what is the name of my combo box. cmb gndr. Correct. cmb gndr. That's correct. cmb gndr. Just a minute. I'll copy from there. No. Anyway, that what was the, oh. Anyway, we'll write the code. Very simple. Get the, first what you have got to do is you have got to get the index, okay? Dot get the index. Get the index, not get index, get selected index. Get the selected index and then get the text at that particular index, or get item at okay. CMB. Oh, look here. The combo box was below. That is why. That is why. Okay. do one thing, just paste it up. Now you'll get everything. MB gender dot. Okay, now it looks good. Get item at, I missed out a bracket over here. Save my program. Okay, you have to make it a string. Typecast it because you know it's going to be a string. Typecast it to a string. Okay, now looks good. Kindly mute yourself. So now I've got all the fields. Now very simple, put it into your table. Put it into your table using an insert query. So I'll have a query, let's say string, the query to insert. QC is equal to my insert query, insert into stu underscore details. QC is equal to insert into stu underscore details values. Please check whether I'm going wrong in my typing. Okay. Okay. Now I have to give in all the values one by one. SID, comma, S name, comma, S age, comma, S city, comma, S gender. Okay. Now you'll have to put everything in quotes together with a plus sign, the normal way you write a query in JDBC. Okay. Please check whether I'm going wrong anywhere in my quotes and all that. Double quote, single quote, double quote. Single quote, double quote, plus SID, plus SID. Why isn't it coming in blue? It should have come in blue. Plus double quote, single quote, plus double quote, single quote. Okay, I'll just save. I'll finish off writing and then execute your query. st dot execute st dot execute update. You're doing an execute update. What is the query name? QC. Okay, we'll even give an SOP, value inserted. Value inserted. Okay, I'll even have an option pane to show value inserted. I'll even have an option pane. Values inserted. I'll save my program. Okay, so I'll run it once again. Look here, show details. I do have all these. I'll enter one more detail. Now look here. Imagine I enter R100. Okay, I'll give in another name. Let's say Ruben, age 21, city, let's say whatever, male, add. Okay, you will get an integrity constraint violation because we've set R100 as the primary key. Primary key. So I'll enter something else, 1090. I'll add Ruben. Okay, The value has been inserted. The value has been inserted. I don't find Ruben over here. I'll click a show details once again. It has been refreshed, which means, I'll be able to find my new detail over here in my table, which has been surrounded by a J scroll pane. So this is how you add details into a table and even into your database. If text ID is equal to or dot equals EQUALS, if there's nothing inside your text, or if this equals to nothing, if you have empty text, you're just checking whether in case you have empty text, what should you do? Or text age dot equals nothing, or text city equals nothing, text city dot equals nothing. I went wrong somewhere. Equals nothing. Okay. EQUALS equals nothing, or text city equals to nothing. Okay. So in case there is nothing, do this. Else, if there's nothing, give an error message. Please enter something. Please enter values. Please enter values. Okay. In case there's nothing, please enter the values. Else, do your normal things. Else, do your normal things and then finish it off. Okay. So I'll just run my program. In case I simply press the add button, I'll get please enter values, which means I will have to enter values before I give in my add button. Okay, you can add. So this is where we stopped yesterday. I'll just make my table bigger. Okay, so we added details. Now you can see that when I give show details, details come in my table. Now what I'm planning to do is, imagine I click any detail like Rahul, Roni, or Jason. If I click any detail, that particular details of, let's say, Rahul, R100, Rahul 22, Kochi, male, all that should be visible over here. So for that, because we are doing it in a table, today what we learn is how do you work on action listeners on tables. Okay, so we will be doing that. When you click something, we'll make it visible over here. Okay, now you might remember we put your table inside a scroll pane. If you look into this particular window on your left top, you will have all your components listed over here. Inside your content pane, you have a scroll pane, show, all your tables, labels, buttons, everything over here. But if you look carefully, you will not be able to see your table over here. And I even want a mouse click on my table, action listener on my mouse click of the table, but you will not be able to see the table over here. All the other components you'll be able to see except the table. Now, the reason why you can't see your table is your table is inside a scroll pane. Okay, so only if you check your scroll pane, you will be able to see the table. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll give an event handler for my table. Okay, I'll give mouse clicked. Okay, so I've gone over here. So when I click a particular table, things should come into my text boxes. Okay, now for that, you do have an object called default table model. Okay, so if you remember your result set, we were doing something called converting your result set into a table model. All that works with your RS2 XML jar. So come back over here. So even default table model, it will only work if you have your RS2 XML jar. So now we're creating a default table model. I'm creating an object and I am getting the default table model of my table. Okay, so before that, let me check what is my table name. My table name is table itself. My table name is table itself. So, you know, where were I? Yeah. So table dot, okay. You have to get your table model, get model. Okay, get the model of the table. Okay, you'll have to do a typecasting. Okay, default. Now I've got my table model. I have some rows and columns. I now have a table model. Now, if you look into your table carefully, okay, now this is my table model. This is my table model. I got it. I got my table model. I call each of these row. These are rows and these are columns, things which you know very well. Now I select a particular row. So the first thing you need to get is get this particular row. In the particular row, get the 0th column and put it inside over here. In this particular row, get the first column Rahul and put it over here. Get the second column age and put it over here. So that is what you have to do. Get a row, then extract each column from the row and then put it into your text boxes. Okay, so let's do that. So I've got my table model. Now what I've got to do is I've got to take each and every row. And then for the time being, I'll store it in a string. Let's say a string. First one is student ID. Okay, string SID is equal to my default table model. Get the value, get value at. Okay, now look here carefully. Get value at will have two arguments. The first argument is my row. The first argument is my row, and the second argument is my column. So I'll have to get my row. Very simple. I can select any row. So I get the selected row. Get selected row. Okay. So what I've done is I've got a particular row and then the 0th column in that particular row. Okay. You have to typecast it to string. Okay. I got a particular row, the 0th column. Similarly, I get each and every field. Let's say string, what was the second one? Name, right? Okay, I'll just give table SID, table, just to remember all that is equal to, just copy the same thing. The first column, that will be my name. The second one was, if I'm not wrong, table age or city. It should be age. Okay, my second column. This will be my third column, and this will be my fourth column. The next one was table city, and the last one was table gender. Okay, now what I've done is a selected row, a particular row. I got the first column, the second column, the third column, the fourth column, and then the fifth column. And then I've stored it into my strings. Don't bother about these because we have not completed, that is why. Okay, now I've got everything. Now all what I want to do is I need to put it into my text boxes, my corresponding text boxes. So before that, I'll have to check my text box's name. Text ID, text NM, text age, text CT. Okay, so we'll put everything. Okay, I got everything. Now all what I want to do is in text NM, set text. I put table SID. In text, first one was text ID, right? In text ID, I put that. In text NM, I put table SName. In text age, I put table FH. Yes, tell me. Did I go wrong anywhere? Tell me.
No.
Okay. Next is table city. Okay, so text city. Yeah, text city. You'll have to remember all your variable names. I'll put table S city. Okay. And then in my text gender, okay, gender wasn't a text, it was a combo box, right? I'll just save. I'll go back. Get the name of this. What was it? CMB gender. Okay. In CMB gender, CMB gender. Okay. It is not set text. You'll have to select a particular item, set the, because it is a combo box, it will not work. Dot set selected item. Selected item is table as gender. As gender. I have some error. I'll just save my program. Gender. So where is gender? Button show ID. Text ID. Create local variable. No. So we'll run the program. So now all what we wanted is happening perfectly. I click over here, this particular row, Rahul's detail come over here. Now you might be wondering why I did this. Imagine you want to edit a detail. If you want to edit a detail called Jason or Ronnie or Rahul, you can be doing the editing over here. So once this comes over here, you can do the editing. Okay. So for that, let's have a button for edit to. I'll go into my design portion. I'll have a new button. I'll name it edit. I'll have a button edit. I'll name it button edit. Okay. Now, when I edit, I should be able to edit the details. So what I'll do is I'll double click this. I'll directly go into my edit action listener. And now I will have to write the code for edit. Now we are planning to update or edit. Now, when you edit, there should be two things which are happening. One is you should be able to have the edited, or you should be able to update your JTable, and you should be even updating your database. Both these things should happen. I'll show you. Look here. Imagine I take Ronnie's details. Okay. I changed Ronnie's name to Ronnie. When I click edit, two things should happen. One is in the JTable, things should be updated. Not only that, even in my SQL, my database part, updation should happen. So you should be looking into two things. One is the JTable should be updated, and even your DB table. Both should be updated, then only you can be telling your editing is perfect. So we'll do one by one. First, what we'll do is we'll update our J table. Okay, so now look here, very simply, the logic is very simple. Okay, you have some details over here, you clicked it, you got it over here, you made a change. Let's say you made all these changes, you click the edit, it should be visible in your J table. Very simple. Take all the text which is over here, okay, get text from your text boxes and put it in your J table. That's all. Get text from your text boxes and then put it in your J table. So let's do that. It's very simple. So anyway, we do have a, you have it over here. Get text, okay. Just copy this code. Okay, I got text from each and every field, each and every text boxes, even my combo box, I did get the details. Now I need to update my table. Okay, now if you look over here, earlier we got values from your table. Okay, to get value from a table, from a J table, you use a method called get value at. To assign values to a table, Joseph Renoy, tell me what might be the method. If to get values from a table, the method is get value at. To set values to a table, what might be the method?
Set value at.
Exactly. So all what you need to do is do a set value at. So let's come back. We were writing somewhere over here. Yeah, we were doing it. So we've got all the text values. Now you need to set values into your table. Now, if you want to work on the table, as I told you before, you need to get the default table model. Default table, get the default table model. I'll just give any name. Default table model is equal to table.get model. Get the model of your table. Get the model of your table. You'll need to typecast it most probably. Table.get model. Default, my spelling went wrong. Default table model is equal to, yeah. Okay. Do a typecasting. Okay. Now you got your table model. Now all what you'd want to do is set value at. Okay. You have a method set value at. So what are you setting the value? You have a new value called SID. Okay. Now look here. I'll just comment this. Okay. Now look here. I'm changing this value and I'm even changing this value. So now this is my new value. This R1023, where should I set it? I should set it in this particular row, this column. This word called Ronnie, I should set it at this particular selected row. This is my selected row, first column. The age, let's say I even edited the age 27. I should be in the selected row, column number 2, and so on. Okay, so that is why you have 3 arguments over here. Okay, you have 3 arguments. The first argument is the value. The second argument is the row, and the third argument is the column. First argument is the value, second is row, and third is column. But when you look into get value at, you will have only 2, row and column, because you're not setting something. Okay, in set value at, you will have an extra argument. The extra argument is the value you are planning to set in. Okay, so let's come back here. Now, where are you planning to set it? Table dot get selected row, the particular row. Get selected row, which column? Column number 0. Okay, SID in column number 0. I'll just copy all these. Okay, SID in the 0th column. S name, I will put it in the first column. this in the second column, this in the third column, and this in the fourth column. I'll just change all these SID. Here it will be S age. Here it will be S city. And here it will be S gender. Okay, I'll just save my program. I'll run my program. Okay, I selected a particular row. I changed all the values. I changed Ronnie's age. Okay, he's not in Kochi. Let's say he's in Calicut. Okay, and now I click and edit. Everything changed. This thing went into the 0th column, this thing into the first column, and so on. Imagine I want to change Rahul. Okay, 1000. I click and edit. Changes have happened. But let's check our database. You'll have a problem in your database. Select star from STU details. Okay, look here. It is the same old details. The DB value hasn't changed. That is what I told you earlier. When you do edit, you should be looking into two things. One is your J table should be updated, and even your DB table should be updated. So what we did now is you updated your J table. Your J table now works perfectly fine. You move, change anything. Let's say I made this a TG. Yeah, it's come a TG. Here everything will change, but my DB isn't changed. Now the next thing is you will have to change your DB. You will have to make corresponding changes into your DB. We'll now update the DB table. I'll just copy some code from somewhere. Okay, I'll just take this, try catch. I'll put it. Okay, please mute. You can do something when you do your projects. What you can do is you can have this DB connections and all in your main, and then have it a single one. Okay, I'm having it many times so that you people are able to understand it perfectly. Okay, so okay, now what I've done is I just took my DB connection. I'm creating a statement. Now, as Joseph Renoy earlier told me, you'll have to use your update query. So I'll write an update query, string. Okay, I'll just give some name. Okay, string SQL is equal to, I will have to write my update query. Okay, I'll write my update query. I'll write my update query later. Then what I'll have to do, what is my statement? st dot execute execute update. What is my query? So my query, and I'll even give a J option pane. Okay. J option pane, values edited in DB. Okay, values edited in DB. Okay, let it be there. So that's it, my query. All what I've done is I am now even updating my SQL. Now I'll write in detail my update query. So update table name. So if you remember, I'll just write over here. Your update query is like this: update stu underscore details, set new values. This is just a quick revision. Set new values where condition. Okay, so this is how your update query syntax is in SQL. Hope you remember that. Update table name, set new values where condition. Okay, so I'll write all that over here. Set. Okay, now look here, you will have to set all the values, because you never know which value the user is going to change. You have many text boxes, many combos, you'll have many things. You're not very sure which the user might change. The user might change something, might change everything, might change nothing. Okay, so to be on the safer side, we will set new values for everything, so that you can work the whole thing in a single go. So before that, you'll have to get your desk table, desk STU details. Okay, so that you get the S underscore ID, S underscore name, age, city, gender. Okay, set, you'll have to remember all that. S underscore ID is equal to, what is your new value? Your new value is SID, SID, comma, S underscore name is equal to S name, the new values which you're getting from your form, comma, age, city, gender. Age is equal to SAge, control C, age is equal to SAge, gender or city, which comes next? We'll go in the correct order. City is equal to SCity, control C, control V, gender is equal to the new value. Okay, so this part is over. Update student details, set new values. Next, you have to give your where condition. Okay, where you can give anything. I'll just give very simple, where S underscore ID is equal to, just give any condition. S underscore ID is equal to whatever. Let's say SID or S name is equal to S name, give any condition. Okay, so that's it, my query. Oh, I forgot to give quotes over here. These are variables, right? So I need to give single quote, double quote, plus, double quote, single quote. Okay, so I'll just copy everything, precede it with that. S name is equal to S name, S age is equal to S age, city is equal to S city, because these are variables. These are variables where SID is equal to SID, and then even I should end up every variable, S name, S age, S city, gender, SID. Let me just check my codes. Update STU details, single quote, double quote, plus, double quote, single quote. Kindly cross check it for me. Plus, single quote, double quote, single quote, double quote, double quote. Okay, looks good, isn't it? After that, you execute update, and then you even give a, okay. To be on the safer side, I'll just do one thing. I'll give an SOP to see whether my query is correct. SOP SQL. So that, I'll just get my SQL in my console. I can check for the error. Okay, anyway, we'll try running the program. Show details, Ronnie. Okay, look here, the same old detail came over here when I clicked show details, because when you click show details, things are taken from your database. Your database wasn't updated earlier. Okay, so you'll get the same old details over there. Ronnie, let's say 45, and Calicut. I'll click and edit. Okay, so here it has been edited. I'll just click and OK. I'll go to my DB and then check whether, yeah, Ronnie has been changed from Kochi to Calicut. You can cross check this once again. Look here. Okay, I'm exiting this. Okay, remember, we have changed Ronnie as an old person from Calicut. I'll just exit this. I'll exit all my screens over here. Now, when I get, when I click show details, that new Ronnie should have come up. Yeah, now my DB has been updated. Ronnie 45 Calicut. Okay, now I can do all my editing and all. it will work perfectly. So even in my DB, it is updated. Okay, and even in my J table, it is updated. I'll just cross check it once again. Yeah, in my DB and in my J table, it is being updated. So this is how you work on edit operations in your projects. You should work, if you're working with a J table, you should see that both your J table and your DB table are updated. So that was how we edited. We'll just do a very quick thing more. Delete. Okay, I'll just have one more quick button. Delete. So that, you know, we'll, okay, I'll have a button called delete. I'll rename it button delete. Okay, I'll have small names, otherwise, you know, I'll forget the button names. I'll open up the mouse click. Okay, action listener has come. Okay, hope you remember the query for delete. It's very simple. I'll just copy the same thing again. Control C, Control V. As I told you earlier, you can have it a common one in your main. Okay, so, okay, till here things are fine. Hope you remember the query for delete. Delete from table where? Delete from table where condition. Okay, so this is your query, your DB query. So it's very simple. Okay, imagine I clicked something. I have a detail over here. I have some details over here. Just a minute. Okay, you have some details. You click the delete button. That particular detail should go away. Okay, so that is what we intend. So I'll just write a query for that. Okay, SQL is equal to, I'll just write my delete query. Delete from stu underscore details. Okay, delete from table. Now all what I need to give is I want to give the condition. I'll just copy this condition. You can give any condition. I'll just copy the same condition. Control C, or you can give name, whatever. I just went for the first one. Okay, SID. I need to get SID. So, you know, I'll just take this SID. SID. Okay, I'll copy SID. I'm getting the value in my text button. Okay, so I got my SID. Whatever is my SID, I am deleting it away. I am deleting it away. Values deleted in DB. So that's it. I'll run my program, show details. Let's say, you know, this has nonsense. I click it. Let's see whether it goes. Deleted. Yeah, it has deleted in the DB. Okay, I'll just cross check. Select star from, yeah, that particular detail has gone away. That particular detail has gone away. So this is how you do delete. It's very easy. Just give a delete query, details would go away. Okay, I didn't give details for my J table. I didn't update my J table. Look here. Just a minute. Okay. Ronnie, I'm deleting Ronnie away. Okay. Now, like Ruben told, if you click show tables again, yeah, that is also fine. That way also you can do. You can do it like this, or what you can do is you can just copy paste this whole code again over here. You can even update your J table. So this is how you delete details from a table. So we've seen how to add details, edit details, and delete details from your